Fun Facts presents the 1956 Aston Martin Touring Spyder. Is this a 50s classic car? It was introduced back in 1953. It had a production run through 1957. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And let's get started now. The DB2 Mark II Spyder by Touring. This spectacular model is based on the DB2 Mark II, fitted with a two-seater Spyder coachwork by the famous Italian company Carrozzeria Touring of Milan. It was the first Aston Martin to be built using the Superleggera method of lightweight construction, whereby the body frame is made up of a cage of small diameter tubes which is covered by handmade aluminum body panels. Touring received a total of 3 rolling chassis in 1956 and created what they anticipated to be a sales sensation. After being displayed at the Turin Motor Show, the Paris Salon, and London Motor Show, Touring were expecting orders which sadly and unexpectedly were not forthcoming. The first example of the AM300 was offered in the Daily Mail newspaper caption competition. The lucky winner, a Scot called Alexander Smith, soon sold the car as he believed he couldn't drive. This car remains in the UK in a private collection, but is occasionally seen at historic events. The second car, the AM300 1162, was shown at the 1956 Paris Motor Show and eventually ended up in the US following restoration and exhibition at many prestigious concourses. The car is now on public display in the Motor Museum in South Africa. And as for the final car, the AM300 1163, I have had the opportunity to photograph twice now. Firstly, I saw the car back in 1990s at the Silverstone Coys Classic Weekend when it was being offered for sale by Telecrest, a dealer more closely associated with classic Ferraris. Almost 20 years later, in August of 2013, I'm very fortunate to be able to see and photograph this beautiful car again, the Quail, a motorsports gathering in Carmel, California. Although the Spyder generated no additional sales, the association between Touring and Aston Martin had begun. Touring went on to style the highly successful 1958 DB4, but also using the Superleggera method of construction. It is easily possible to see many styling cues of the Spyder that were carried through to the early DB4, such as pronounced headlights, grille, bumpers, and vertical tail lights. And I'm reading this article from AstonMartins.com. I'll leave a link below the video now. Thank you. The Aston Martin DB2 Mark II model, introduced in 1955, offered an optional large valve high compression 8:6:1 ratio. It had 165 horsepower engine. Other changes included small tail fins, bubble tail lights as on the Morris Minor, and added chrome. The horizontal split line was also changed from door sill height to the line carried backwards from the top of the front wheel arch. A 2-seat fixed head coupe was new. In addition to the continued drop head, 34 of the 199 Mark II models used this new coupe body, which was the style chosen by David Brown for his own car. 3 Mark II chassis were sent to Carrozzeria Touring in Italy to be bodied as Spyder models. Touring would later help Aston with the Superleggera design of the DB4. The Aston Martin DB2 is a Grand Tour produced by Aston Martin from 53 to 1957. It was available as a 2+2 hatchback, a drop head coupe, a 2-seat fixed head coupe, and a small number of bodied Spyders were commissioned by private buyers. The DB2 was based on the DB2, which it replaced. Changes included a wraparound windscreen, large bumpers, repositioned headlights. The body was designed by draftsman John Turner, who was 17 years of age at the time. The Lagonda Straight 6 engine, designated the VB6E, was initially the same dual overhead cam straight 6 design by W.O. Bentley and used in the Vantage version of the DB2. Displacement was 2.6 liter, giving it 125 horsepower in September 1953, and in April 1954 for the drop head 2.9 liter VB6J version was used, raising power to 140 horsepower and a maximum speed to 120 miles per hour. Of the 565 Mark I models produced, 102 were drop head coupes. A 2.9 liter DB2 tested by British magazine The Motor in 1954, it had a top speed of 118.5 miles per hour and accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 10.5 seconds. A fuel consumption of 23 miles per imperial gallon was reported. The test car cost €2,621, including taxes. 3 works cars were prepped for the 1955 Monte Carlo Rally, and 2 of the Mille Miglia. Aston Martin produced its competitive ambitions more intently with the DB3, which was designed specifically for sports racing cars. An DB2 Mach 1 drop head coupe appeared in the 1963 Alfred Hitchcock film The Birds. The DB2 Mark II model, introduced in 1955, offered an optional large valve, high compression, 165 horsepower engine. Other changes included small tail fins, bubble type taillights, as on the Morris Minor, and added chrome. The horizontal split line was also changed from the door sill height, and the line carried backwards from the top of the front wheel arch. A 2-seat fixed head coupe was new. In addition to the continued drop head, 34 of the 199 Mark II models used this new coupe body, which was the style chosen by David Brown for his own car. 3 Mark II chassis were sent to Italy to be bodied as Spyder models. Touring would later help Aston and the Superleggera design of the DB4. One significant behind-the-scenes change for the Mark II was the relocation of coach building responsibilities from Molnar's of Feltham to Tickford's works in Newport Pagnell. Brown had purchased Tickford in 1954 and would move all of Aston Martin's operations there with the start of the DB4 production. Okay, well, if you found yourself this far into the video, we'd certainly like to thank you for taking the time to watch our video. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, because it really does help our channel. And if you like our channel, please subscribe, because we'll be doing a lot of the cars from the 50s. We'll be doing a lot of the cars from the 60s, the muscle cars, of course. We'll be doing in the future the sports cars, the hybrid cars, the super cars. We'll be doing auto shows and autoramas. We'll be doing custom cars and hot rods, so there will be a little bit of everything for everybody. And we hope to see you when we upload our next video. And thank you for taking the time out of your day. And always, 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 take good care. God bless.